and we have him on the air now. Jim Poore, how you doing?
I'm great, Howie. Thanks for having me on.
How's the campaign going?
Well, so far it's going pretty good. It's still a little bit early going, but I've had some positive vibes. I feel pretty good right now.
You're the only challenger to the incumbent, right? Right now, anyway.
As of right now, another gentleman has pulled papers, but he also was on city council. So he has not given any direction as to what he's going to do. But as of right now, I'm the only candidate. Yes.
So what made you post this? Knowing, I mean, you had to know it was going to be controversial.
There's no question. It's that, if I want to run for office, especially mayor, I mean, people are going to need to start hearing my viewpoints, whether it's a national issue or more local. And this mask mandate has been going on for over a year. And, the first couple of months last year when it started, it certainly was understood, but it's been over a year now. And I just can't understand how we still are forced to wear masks. You can't even walk into, a Cumberland Farms and get a gallon of milk without throwing your mask on. It's crazy. It's been over a year. It's time to end it.
Now, the Sun Chronicle, where I read this story, the local paper, they said that you got a lot of pushback from people who didn't like it. But I'm assuming that you also heard from a lot of people who totally agree, but maybe are afraid to say publicly what you said about enough already with the masks.
No, I think so. And of course, the local paper only wanted to say the negatives about me, even though there are a lot of positive posts. I also had another local Facebook Attleboro page. I also originally put it on there, which is where they picked it up. And the positives outweighed the negatives by about 58 to 42%. So a lot of people still feel the way that I do. And I think, like you said, the quote unquote silent majority, I think a lot of people out there feel the way I do.
So, I mean, what would you tell, if you could tell the governor right now, or tell I guess the mayor, the guy you're running against, what's his name? Paul Hero? That's his name, right?
Paul Hero, yes.
Hero. Yep. Yeah, he had kind of a checkered career at the State House, I recall. But what would you tell the mayor or the governor, or the people who are enforcing these mask mandates?
Well, I'm not necessarily against masks. If people want to wear their masks, they can wear a mask. I mean, they can wear a mask and taking a shower if they want. That's none of my business. But I don't believe that, I know they can't force it on people's lives. It's the same thing with the private businesses. They should not be shutting down people's private businesses. Just make the mask voluntary. It's kind of coincidental as the current mayor was posting on his page on a fairly regular basis, to wear masks and giving the updates. And then a few days ago, he posted a couple pictures on his page where he's not wearing his mask with his litter pickup crew. So I thought that was pretty ironic. I thought the timing was pretty good. I guess his mask broke, but he took several pictures. So of course, that got picked up too, and people noticed that. But that's pretty standard practice, as we know.
Well, do you think, I know Attleboro has changed. It used to be like a blue collar, factory town, basically. But now you have the train station. You have like 2 train stations, and, you got more commuter rail people coming in from Boston. So I think that, like a lot of places in Massachusetts, the complexion of the town politically has changed, gone from sort of, old line conservative Democrat and Republican, yet a Republican state rep, to more sort of shishi. But the shishi people seem to be into the masks, aren't they?
Well, down here, Attleboro used to lean more Republican. Now it's probably about 50-50 in terms of vote population, but there's 21 elected officials in the city. There's a couple others that are elected, but of the school committee, city council, and the mayor, there are 21 elected officials, and 16 of them are Democrats. So, definitely a lot of people down here are more into the mask mandate. And if you certainly saw some of the comments on if you get a chance, You probably saw that many people down here do feel that way. But again, as was mentioned before, I think a lot of people do feel that way. They don't want to say anything, which, and I understand because there's backlash. And, but I think it's about 50-50 with people that want to wear masks as well. Yeah, Attleboro has definitely changed a little bit in that aspect.
Yeah. Well, Jim, so what do you have a website if people want to see what you're up to with the mask, fighting the mask? I think it's even if you go down in defeat, I think it's a good way to express the opinions of a huge portion of the people in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and nationwide for that matter.
Well, no, I agree, and the way I see it, I have absolutely nothing to lose out. I'm kind of an outsider, and I, kind of like I'm telling people when I was going door to door getting signatures, I'm kind of just like the Joe average person running. A father, husband, taxpayer, just a regular guy, and sometimes that's what cities need. And things need to change. It starts at the local level. I don't have a website as of yet, but I do have my Facebook page and I do have my mayor's page. But as the campaign goes along, I'm going to get a lot more information and certainly start to get my word out there. Okay.
Well, Jim Poore, don't let them intimidate you. I'm glad you did what you did. And I think a lot of people are.
I appreciate that. I'm definitely not going to be intimidated, Howie. And again, if people want change, it starts at the local level. So I'm not afraid of anything. And I've said before, people can contact me at any time. My number is on the page, and anybody wants to talk about anything, they can contact me at any time.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. That's Jim Poore. He's a candidate he's running against the incumbent ex-state rep, who's the mayor of the city of Attleboro, Massachusetts. And he said he's had it with masks. And I think probably you and I would agree with that. We've had it with masks too. Let me read you something. This is, people are texting me and saying it's not too late, Howie, to change your mind and cancel your plane reservations to come back to Massachusetts. Well, I have to do the VIPs. I got the VIPs waiting for me, but I got something in the email the other day that really did make me think about how lucky I've had it these last few months to not be in Massachusetts with Charlie Bacon and everybody else. This was from the condo management where I live. I sold my house and now I have a condo in Wellesley. And I used to be able to go down to get a cup of coffee every morning, walk down, but the place went out of business. Then I used to be able to walk to a bakery on the weekends and get a nice pastry, a treat. But that went out of business too. So it's a lot of fun. But anyway, this is about this situation in my condo. Greetings to all. As we write this, the sun is shining, the sky is a brilliant blue, and work on our new pool is well underway. Already, I think, they're lathering me up with the Vaseline. The dark year through which we have passed is beginning to fade into memory. Still, we must face the fact that we are not yet fully able to enjoy all that the season usually offers. Well, so then it hasn't faded into memory because it's going to go on. The specter of COVID continues to loom. Could I have some ominous music, Taylor, please, behind me here? The specter of COVID continues to loom. And therefore, Governor Baker will likely mandate restrictions on the use of swimming pools. If we want to be able to use a new pool, we will have to find ways to comply with state and Wellesley Board of Health regulations. Compliance might include hiring pool attendants, not lifeguards, or reducing hours and days of operation and limiting the number of users at a given time. Could someone tell me how reducing the number of hours and days of operation is going to restrict the spread of COVID? Which not many people are dying of COVID now in Massachusetts or elsewhere, but they still want to reduce hours and days of operation to fight the whatever we're supposed to be fighting.
All the YMCAs are open.
Yes, but Taylor, didn't you hear what I just read? The specter of COVID continues to loom.
That's very true. And
it's looming.
Charlie Baker might close swimming down.
It's looming. All right. 844-500-4242. We'll take some calls when we come back. When it comes to car and home insurance, don't we deserve better? I know I do. I put my policy to the test and turned to Gabby. They literally stand for Get a Better Insurance. Gabby, G-A-B-I. Getting better insurance with Gabby means a better price for the same insurance coverage. Who knew something like this even existed? They are the one true comparison platform with real rates. They give you an apples-to-apples comparison of your current coverage with 40 of the top insurance providers like Progressive, Nationwide, and Travelers, and all in one place. Use your current insurance information to get started, and in just minutes, you'll be able to see quotes for the exact same coverage you currently have. And it's free to use. That's what I did. I'm not very handy with computers, as you probably know. And still, I could get onto the Gabby site very, very easily. It was very fast and simple. I was with my old insurance company for longer than I care to remember. It had changed hands repeatedly. The guy I knew that ran it had been dead for 20 years, and his wife had it. Then she sold it. And I still had the same policy. And I never got any discounts. I just paid the premium, and nobody ever contacted me and told me there were better deals. I should have done this years earlier if I'd have known, or if Gabby, I didn't even know if Gabby existed. But I logged in with my then current insurance provider, and I was shown a number of quotes, more than a half dozen quotes, and I ended up saving more than $600 on my car insurance in Massachusetts. Gabby customers save $961 per year on average, so they save more than I did. And they'll never sell your info, so no annoying spam or robocalls. This is a great way to save money, and there's no obligation, no nothing. Just see and check it out and see if you can save money. And you probably